Does the thought of parent-teacher conferences make you cringe just a little bit? Well, having a parent conference does not have to be a frightening experience. In this video, I will share with you some tips that will help make your parent-teacher conference more productive and beneficial for you as well as your child. Hi everyone, I'm Jackie from Going Beyond the Classroom, and this channel is all about ways you can be successful in school as well as in life. As a mom and an educator for over 25 years, I must say that I've had my share of parent-teacher conferences from being on both sides of the spectrum. If you've not had an opportunity to meet your child's teacher yet, I know that parent-teacher conferences are probably on the horizon with this being mid-October. And so we're going to share some tips that will help you make it a smooth and successful conversation. So let's jump right in. Tip number one. Have a conversation with your child prior to the parent-teacher conference. This can be very helpful so you get a chance to ask your child how they are enjoying being in the class. Do they have any friends? Do they have any challenges? What do you feel like they're being most successful in? And just get some feedback from your child prior to you having that conversation with their teacher. You might also want to ask what things do they think the teacher might say about them as we are preparing to do their conference, and find out if they're following directions, find out if they're struggling in any academic areas, or if they're having any challenges with any of their classmates that you might need to take note of in order to have that information when you speak with your child's teacher. Tip number two, be aware of the expectations of your child's teacher, the school, as well as the school district. If you have not received a copy of the student's code of conduct, you may want to ask for that in advance, as well as any classroom rules that you can be aware of. So when the teacher has a conversation with you, you can know what the expectations are of her classroom and whether or not your child has been following those expectations. And if not, what are some of the consequences, and as well as ways you can assist at home with some of the things that your child may need extra assistance with as far as their behavior. Tip number three. Be familiar with how your child's teacher communicates with parents. Are there classroom newsletters? Are there emails or progress reports? And when can you expect to receive those? You also want to know and find out how your child is performing academically. If they've taken any tests, any curriculum tests or district tests, finding out how they're doing and in what areas they may be struggling with, so you can also assist the teacher in making sure your child acquires those skills necessary for them to master particular concepts that they may be struggling with as well. And also you want to make sure you have their email address, so in case there are any concerns or questions during the course of the year or semester, that you would be able to communicate with the teacher. Tip number four, listen carefully during the parent-teacher conference. You may want to take notes as well when the teacher is communicating with you, where they are in the curriculum, where they're going, other things that may be coming up that you may be or you need to be aware of during the course of the school year or during the course of the semester. And so just being in the know will help you to be able to support the teacher as well. Tip number five. Listening is important, but sharing is just as important. So if you know that your child is struggling, for instance, in a particular area, let's say your child may be struggling in math, then those are the kinds of things that you want to make sure your teacher is, or your child's teacher is aware of, so they can help with providing resources or maybe extra tutoring, and they don't find out on the backside of a major test, and try to play catch up at that particular point. So any information that you can share with your child's teacher that will help them be, helpful to your child would be a good thing. One of the things also that I might add is if your child has experienced a loss in the family, that's something that you want to communicate with the teacher as well. I know with our daughter, she lost 3 grandparents within a 2-year time frame, and so it was very hard on her going to school. And so if you share those types of things, it may warrant a trip to the counselor's office, or maybe even if you notice they're sad or different, maybe that they can call the parents for a reassuring voice, and to let them know, or be able to talk through a particular time that they may be feeling sad or grieving. And so sharing that with the teacher up front, they can be aware and look for signs that they may be sad or depressed, or may need a timeout to be able to go and speak to someone. And tip number 6, be sure to express your gratitude and offer to volunteer when you can. I tell you, as an educator, it is extremely helpful to have parents to ask to volunteer in the classroom. It could be decorations, it could be helping with programs and things that come up that teachers just may be stretched so thin that they may not have as much time to devote to doing those things. And it's extremely helpful to be able to get some assistance from parents to be able to help out in the classroom. It's also an opportunity for you to put your eyes on your child and see how they're doing in the classroom context, how they're getting along with others. And I know that our son, when he was in elementary school, did not like me coming up and helping grade papers, and he would rather that I had not been there, of course, but I also got to see how he was maintaining his P's and Q's. And as a PTA president for 1 year, I was at the school quite a bit. So pop-up visits in the classroom were not uncommon for me to see how he was doing. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comment section. Did I miss anything? Parents, teachers, I'd love to hear from you. What types of things do you feel should be discussed during a parent-teacher conferences? And most of all, you want to reassure the teacher that you want to collaborate with them, that you guys are on the same team and you want what's best for your child. And so just having that conversation periodically can be very beneficial for your child's success during the course of the school year. So drop me a comment. Let me know what you think are some important things to consider when preparing for or having a conversation with your child's teacher in terms of a productive parent-teacher conference. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.